Before arriving in San Francisco, I caught the red-eye flight from Anchorage to Los Angeles and then Los Angeles to San Francisco. The flight from Anchorage to Los Angeles was literally 5 hours of turbulence, so bad that the stewardesses and the flight attendants couldn't even give us in-flight service. So needless to say, I got absolutely no sleep before arriving in San Francisco. So I catch an Uber from the airport to downtown San Francisco, where I'm going to be couchsurfing with Mark, who's a really nice guy. So after quickly saying hello, I run down to the visa office and there is a line out the door. But after 5.5 hours, I'm able to get my fingerprints done and turn in my visa application and get a receipt so that I can return tomorrow to pick up my visa. So from there, I just go wander around the town and see what San Francisco has to offer.
Man, these hills are kicking my butt. Whew. There should be no fat people in San Francisco if they walk.
Then I find myself in Chinatown, just wandering around, looking at the food signs, pretending like I can read the language. And then I find myself in the Embarcadero, and I just walk along the bay, down to the Bay Bridge, and all that before I head home to Mark's house, where we just hang out and chat a little bit and get to know one another. So the next day, Mark and I decided to wake up early and hit the gym before I head out back to the visa office. And this time there's a line out the door around the corner, but thankfully it only takes about 90 minutes to get in the building and to get my visa and to walk out successfully with my Chinese visa. From there, I head back to Union Square, where I meet the free San Francisco walking tour with Philip, and he takes us around the city, shows us the history, shows us some really amazing things. And funny thing is, Philip was also one of the founders of the Sophia walking tour, which I did back 2 Decembers ago. So it was really nice to catch up with him and chat and to enjoy his tour. So if you're in San Francisco, I definitely recommend taking his tour. After the tour, I decide I want to go to the Golden Gate Bridge, but I'm going to walk around San Francisco a little bit to see what there is along the way and check out all the hidden gems. On my way to the bridge, I decide to stop at Lombard Street, check it out, take some photos, and then I catch an Uber to the Golden Gate Bridge. As I'm in the car, it begins to rain, and I arrive at the Golden Gate National Park, and it's closed. So I didn't even think to check the timing or anything like that, but the open areas of the park, I decided to walk around a little bit in the rain, and as much as I could, see what I can, and that didn't last long. So I called an Uber again, and I take it back to Mark's place, where he prepares me some homemade dumplings that his mom made, and he heated up for me, and they were delicious. And then we just hung out and chatted a little while, and we watched some of the NBA playoffs, and then we called it a night. We wake up early the next morning and hit the gym again. This time I show Mark how to use kettlebells, so now that he'll be big and strong. Mark invited me to have lunch with him, so before we do that, I head to the Mission District, which has streets and alleys full of murals, beautifully painted, with Mexican, the Aboriginal, and Spanish themes, and it's definitely worth checking out. So taking my Uber to Twitter headquarters, the guy is not from San Francisco, so he drops me off nowhere near the building. So I end up walking down Market Street looking for the Twitter building, and on Market Street you will find drug dealers, I guess, just come out and say it, right? Yeah, anyway, so after turning down a bunch of drugs, I finally find Twitter. I meet up with Mark and some of his friends, and we have a really nice lunch at Twitter. So after lunch, I decide I'm going to try to go back to the Golden Gate Bridge, but since Twitter's right downtown by the City Hall, I decided to stop and check it out. I go into the security, and the lady asked me what I have in my bag, and one of my bags I have my drone, and she said, "Nope, you can't come in." And I said, "Okay, are there lockers or something?" She said, "No." I was like, "All right, I guess I won't be seeing City Hall then. Thanks for your great customer service." So I jump in another Uber and head back to the Golden Gate Bridge, and today is a beautiful day. It's just a little bit windy, and I see a sign that says no drone flying, so I can't fly my drone here at the bridge. So I just walk along the promenade about 6 miles, and then I find the Palace of Arts, which is a really nice building. And I fly my drone there a little bit, get some good shots, to make up for the mean lady at City Hall and then not being able to fly the drone at the Golden Gate Bridge. So it turned out alright. On my way back to Mark's, I decided I have to stop in Chinatown to get some Peking duck so that I can compare when I get to China. And it was pretty good, so the lady was really nice and she's telling me what to expect when I get to China. And I even took a few pieces home so that Mark can try it and verify its authenticity. And when you're traveling in Europe, you stop and you look into the churches and you see all the history and architecture. So I saw one in San Francisco and out of habit, I went into it. I finally make it back to Mark's place and we just hang out and chat for a while. So I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm here in California and I go up toward Fairfield in Sacramento and hang out with my family, my aunts and uncles, and meet up with just old family and friends. Actually get to meet some new family, some of my cousins who were born after I left California. I was about 4 when I left, so I haven't seen a lot of these people in a long time. So it's just really good to catch up with my aunts and uncles and spend time with them and meet my new cousins and looking at old pictures of me as a baby. So that was my trip to San Francisco. And now I'm leaving on a jet plane to China. Let me know what you thought of this vlog. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, how it can improve. And as always, thank you for traveling with the TMax.